World military experts from major think tanks are still in a state of shock due to yesterday's massive Iranian missile attack on Israel. According to them, yesterday's massive Iranian missile strike on Israel was the most powerful attack on the Jewish state in the entire history of the existence of these two ancient peoples. Analyzing yesterday's events, almost all reputable experts and analysts recognized that what is happening now in the Middle East could provoke the outbreak of another global war. My friends, as you know, on the night of October 1st, Iran launched a massive missile attack on Israel. Despite the active work of the Israeli air defense, independent monitoring services recorded dozens of explosions throughout Israel. It is reported that during this attack, Iran used more than 500 ballistic missiles of various capacities. At the same time, the Israeli side continues to assure that Iran used only 180 missiles, most of which were allegedly shot down by Israeli air defense systems. Later, representatives of the Pentagon and British intelligence said that Iran allegedly used 200 ballistic missiles of various capacities during the attack on Israel. Whatever it was, this missile strike was indeed the most powerful attack on Israel in history. At the same time, it is worth noting that official Washington and London stated that the West had managed to significantly strengthen Israel's air defense, as a result of which Jerusalem allegedly managed to avoid significant losses from Iranian ballistic missiles. It is reliably known that during this missile attack, Iran used Fateh ballistic missiles, capable of reaching hypersonic speeds of 16,000 km per hour. Commenting on the use of such powerful ballistic missiles against Israel, official Tehran said that it was revenge for the treacherous murder of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh, the third Secretary General of Lebanon's Hezbollah Hassan Nasrallah, and commander of the Quds Force of the Islamic Revolution Guards Corps, Brigadier General Abbas Nilforeshan. Moreover, Tehran officially stated that this missile attack on Israel was only a small demonstration of force, and that if Israel decides to respond to this strike, then the Jewish state will literally be wiped off the face of the earth. In particular, the general of the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Ismail Qausari, bluntly stated that Israel should think 1,000 times before deciding on a retaliatory strike against Iran. If the Israeli regime really has no head and decides to strike Iran, then we will have to use other missiles, the power of which will shock the whole world, General Ismail Qausari said. Which more powerful missiles the Iranian general was talking about remains a mystery. Against this backdrop, many independent experts have suggested that Iran already has tactical nuclear warheads, capable of wiping Israel off the face of the earth. Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, also added oil to the fire. In particular, he officially stated that Iran has accumulated enough highly enriched uranium to refuel several warheads for its ballistic missiles. Moreover, experts noticed that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, while in a bomb shelter, was noticeably nervous, threatening Iran with retaliatory actions. The footage clearly shows how the Israeli Prime Minister's hands are even shaking. All this indicates that Israel and its main ally, the United States, do not have full knowledge of the presence or absence of nuclear weapons in Iran. In addition, yesterday's missile attack on Israel showed the world that Israeli air defense forces are not capable of stopping Iranian missiles. This indicates that if Iran does have nuclear warheads, Israel could not shoot them down. Even though Israel carefully hides the damage from the Iranian missile attack, numerous footage of explosions at Israeli military facilities, including air bases, continues to appear on the network. Moreover, the influential news agency Shafagna, citing its own sources in the Iranian military department, stated that during yesterday's missile attack, 20 units of 5th-generation F-35 fighter jets were destroyed, which were stationed at Israeli Air Force bases in northern and western Israel. Against this backdrop, insiders in Washington began to declare that the United States had started to create a coalition to conduct a military operation against Iran, to protect Israel. It is reported that Washington is very alarmed by the fact that Iran does possess nuclear weapons. Sources in Washington claim that the Pentagon has already begun to develop a plan for a lightning preemptive strike against Iran. It is reported that this preemptive strike on Iran's military facilities should completely disable all the country's launchers and prevent Tehran from using its ballistic missiles in time. The fact that Benjamin Netanyahu's hands were shaking indicates that he is not sure about the outcome of a future war with Iran and is really afraid of a direct conflict with Tehran. The fact that Israel has not yet responded to Iran's missile attack and continues to bomb Beirut and not Tehran indicates that everything did not go according to Benjamin Netanyahu's plan. Yesterday's massive Iranian missile attack on Israel showed that Tel Aviv is currently not ready for a full-scale war with Tehran. In this regard, it can be stated that very soon all Western air defense systems and other types of NATO weapons will be sent not to Ukraine, but to Israel. The fact is that before launching full-scale military operations against Iran, the United States must significantly strengthen not only Israel's air defense, but also the Israeli army units. In this regard, Washington will be forced to refuse further military and financial assistance to Ukraine, as a result of which the Kyiv regime, led by Vladimir Zelensky, will capitulate within 2 to 3 weeks. As cynical as it may sound, the upcoming major war in the Middle East is very beneficial to the United States. Firstly, this war will help Washington justify its loss in Ukraine and save its face. Now, official Washington can claim that the United States left Ukraine in order to help Israel. Secondly, the military operation against Iran will allow the United States to ensure the security of the Strait of Hormuz and solve the problem with Yemen's Houthis, who are still attacking Western military and merchant ships in the Red Sea. However, Washington will be able to achieve all this only if the Western coalition led by the United States can win a landslide victory in the war with Iran. And given the fact that Iran has such allies as Russia and China, many experts doubt that the United States and Israel will be able to defeat Tehran.